Welcome everyone. This is Will, CayMac Vintage. How is everyone doing on this wonderful day? Um, I haven't done a video in a while because I've been occupied with two different projects that I'm working on. One y'all know, which is the tech step, and another one was a secret project that my team and I have been working on for a few months. And um, yeah, we've been working on this from about November last year. It takes time because we have to design the boards and work around other members' schedule and so forth. And we have to, yeah, it takes time for us to order the boards and get them to the people that need them because we're working with me here in Cayman and then actually Joakim, which is in actually Sweden, and Jake, which is in the States. So we have to collaborate and do a lot of things together. I had to get a better A1, I had to get a better printer, and you can see it right there. That is the actually Bamboo A1. So because this project, I had to design something for it to for it to work with. So um, now let's go on with this, and because it's well, let's say it this way. It's um, a lot of people like the SE30 and the SE model, and but certain things are happening that it's harder to get CRTs and so forth, and it's a big case and so forth. So um, we looked at different things that others are doing and projects that they've been working on, and um, a lot of this has actually influenced us to make this one item and then combine more things with it. And I think we've done a very good job with what we're doing here. Now, this is not final yet. It's still a little bit of work in progress. I have the older version board here, and the new ones are on island. They're in customs clearance, but we changed the actually layout a little bit and added some more things. But let's go to what it is. So as we know, this all relates to the SE30 and so forth, and what else we can do with it. Oh, but I have to grab one thing here. Um, I can use this. Okay. So um, let's switch cameras. Let's give you an idea of what this is. Here's the board. Okay. So what this does is it combines everything into one board that you can then plug into a SE30, and you give it power. Um, well, anyway, let's go to what it is. This here is the connector for the SE30. So you put in the actually plug on the bottom here that will plug into the SE30, and then here is a header connector for a ATX power supply or ATX Pico, and over here is a RGB to HDMI. So the RGB to HDMI is built onto the board, and then you just put the Pico Pi on top, and the signals go directly into it. You have no wires or nothing to actually do. You have all the 4 buttons here for the RGB to HDMI. You also have the 2 LEDs. We've added 2 pin headers, so you can bring these LEDs outside. And we've added a header here that you can add and actually single button controls for the RGB to HDMI, which is built in. I mean, that's something that's already in, nothing special done with that. It's something that's already part of the RGB to HDMI. And then what else have we added? We have a LED on here that says the power is good. We have a pin header for external LED. This one here only has a 12 volt control right now, only one, and a 1.5 volts. The actually newer version, this is not turned. This is actually turned, so it is now actually straight. It doesn't have this very strange shape. We've actually shifted it a little bit, and we've also done we've added now that it's got 2 5-volt headers and 2 12-volt headers. So that's on the new board. But Board number one, which was a prototype board, looks like this. I had to wire it this way because there was a mistake on the PCB, so we had to change it around. But this has an RGB to HDMI on it. So you just take your Pi Pico, and that plugs in right into here, and away you go. And there are the buttons, the pin headers, and so forth. So this is a first version. It does not have the 5 volts, so I had to take it off of the ATX connector. I needed 2, so I did it this way. But this was a prototype, so this board is no good anymore. But this one is also no good anymore because we've actually improved on it. So basically, when you have an SE30, I know this is one that's been bombed, and I used it. This device will plug in right here. Okay, and it'll sit right here. You have access to your SCSI, your floppy, your audio, and you have everything right here on it. So now, what does that give you? That ends up giving you power to your SE30 and a built-in RGB to HDMI, which then you can have this going right to a HDMI video. So you've basically gotten rid of the actually CRT, and you've gotten rid of the analog board and power supply, because really all that this takes now is a Pico like this that will plug in right here, and that's your power. Very simple, a straightforward item. That this is a all-in-one solution. So then we took this a step further. Let me present you the item that I needed, why I needed a printer. So here it is. Let me zoom this out. I hope it doesn't focus. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So this board allows you now to have a SE30 desktop, and here we are. As you can see, this is a first run version of it. We have a built-in blue SCSI, a floppy EMU. There will be a PCB with buttons on the back inside this case that has all those same function buttons. You have your LEDs. This is for blue SCSI and power for the machine, and these two are for the RGB to HDMI. We have an air vent here. On the bottom, we have locations for the actually feet. On this side, these are the two actually screw points, and you'll see why that in a minute. These are your two other buttons. This is an air vent, and this is speaker. But not just one speaker. You have 2 speakers, one on each side. Now let's go to the back. What do you have in the back? Well, you've got your standard ADB, floppy, SCSI, serial printer, and audio. The HDMI will end up coming right here. It'll be a nice plug that's built in that you just plug your cable in. Right now, that cable is on island with customs. This back here will be your RGB to HDMI controls outside the case, using the actually single button mode. This I have coming out right now to actually capture audio. I'll explain that in a minute. This is the power connector. So you do need a brick. You do need a 12-volt brick to actually plug into this and then provide power to it. And then this is the switch. And this is the fan. There is a built-in fan. And the fan sits somewhat right over the actually CPU. Okay, so here we have the front again. Now this case is still in development. This is pretty much what it's going to be. I have removed my my actually mascot here. That's not going to be on it at all. But how does it look inside? So let's go inside. Okay. Here you are with the board. Now remember, this is the older version board, and this won't be this way. Okay, this will be a lot neater, a lot nicer. And here you see power coming in. There's my floppy. There's my SCSI connector, and the audio cable's going out right there too. Now, why that audio? It's because this is taking the SE30 audio. It will take it from here eventually, and it goes into an actually amplifier that then you have a volume knob, and I can show you that back here. And you have volume knob right here. That will raise and lower the volume for the speakers. So this is the base of the case. This board fits in there perfectly, very nicely. Okay. I can take it out if you want me to. I have to undo the Pico. Well, yeah, the Pico ATX. Let's undo that. You see, now that's the whole board, guys. That's it. This actually little guy will have everything on it. So here I am connected to the RGB to HDMI. I have my LED connected. I have my fan. You'll see that in a minute. And I'm also taking power for the amplifier. So we've added two 5 volts and two 12 volts because I'm not sure yet if we're going to use a 5 volt amplifier or a 12 volt. The fan is a 5 volts, but just in case if you put in a different one that is 12 volts, it can handle it. Okay, so with this turned, it will be the other way around, and it'll sit a lot better. It's actually turned this way, so that the HDMI goes directly to the back. It will line up a lot better. Okay, so now if I want to undo this and show you the top piece of the case. So I'm going to undo everything here. So I have the board now totally loose. This is it built. That's it. Okay. So, and then the Pico power is there. If we look here, you see that it's going to the switch and the Pico power and the actually barrel connector. So now I want to go to the top piece of the case because that's where most of my work has been, on the top piece. So what's all in this? So here we are. We have a blue SCSI mounted in there. We have a floppy EMU mounted in here with a front screen and a SD card reader that's here. And I have to thank actually Javier for sending me the actually STL that fits these same SD card readers that I was using. A little bit out of focus there. Okay, so here we have two actually speakers, left and right. Okay, they fit in perfectly right into the built-in grooves that are there. The wires come in, they pass underneath the cards. There is cable management runs under the actual devices, and as you can see too, I have cable management here for the SCSI and the floppy, and all the other cables that come. They run right here. So yes, I have nice cable management in here to run everything back. This is the amp back here. That's got the volume knob control. I have to move that a little bit more over. Okay, and then you have your nice cable management. Here's the fan. This is a very easy fan to actually put in. Well, would be nice if I can. There. See, so it's just a standard 5 volt fan. It's got a perfect fit location. Uh, you just put that on there. There. Okay, that fits in there very nicely. It is almost right over the CPU area. You got your two speakers. This is the cable for your screen to come to the front for the floppy emu, and you have your extension cable for the SD card. And like I said, there is going to be a PCB that I have that's on the way. That's going to sit right here. That will have the actually 4 buttons on it for the actually floppy emu. So as you can see, everything is very nicely laid out. This is a very solid fit. The case is very strong. It's got these posts at the 4 corners that will have in a sleeve for. It will have a fitting inside the hole for the actually screw, so that you can actually screw up the case. Okay, so that's the top piece of the case. Now, if we go to the bottom piece. Although again, remember, a lot of this is actually prototyping and so forth, so the actually finished product will be a lot actually smoother. So this can easily lift out, as you can see here. There I just took the board out. These are the two stubs for the buttons. This just goes back in, slides in. You do have to need to fandangle a little bit with those buttons there. Getting caught on something. Where's my spatula? There. We're in. You see? I don't have this screwed in all the way right now, but and I am going to shorten this run so it's not so long. But that's for the Pico. That's for the Pico power. We made some changes that it will give you better access to the floppy and to the SCSI. And I just don't know why this camera looks so out of focus. That's the white balance. And this is the focus. Okay, so in all, this is what this project is. This is the bottom piece. This was one of the prototypes of the card. Okay, and it's a very easy plug-in. Like, that's it. It's in there. This plugs into there. There we are. I put that over under it, like actually that, so it stays nice. There's your power switch. This was a trial power switch. There are better ones. There. Okay, so you have all your connections. Like I said, the one I still need to work on is the HDMI. Once I get my actually adapter cable that is specifically made to be mounted inside a case, this will be designed and actually mounted. You have some nice vents. A vent there in front. Then you have the case piece. It is this again. Speakers, very nice grill that fits perfectly. Okay, and I'm not going to connect everything right now. I just want to throw everything in there and just close it back up for you to see. So you get a very nice looking SE30 desktop. Okay, and it does line up exactly because it was made off of one piece and then actually sliced. So here's the back again that you can see. You have your volume for the speakers, the power switch, DC power in, your fan exhaust, and all your other connections. Now this will be, I do have a lot of the filaments for the actually Polymaker Apple color filament. The case is designed not to look like an Apple case because we did not want that. So it is totally different. I am going to design some other types, and one of the ones that I want to design too is like a mini tower that then you can put you can have it then where the where it's sitting like actually this, and you can add in actually cards, so the case will be a bit bigger. Joachim has also made an actually adapter card that comes up, and then the cards go in like this sideways. So he has made an adapter that will be available also. So now this is still this thing is still prototype. We're almost ready with it. We are trying to have them ready for actually VCF Midwest because all three of us are going to be there. Joachim is flying in from actually Sweden, Jake out of North Carolina, and I will be there also. And we want to have this over there on actually display. So this is the top piece of the case, and as you can see, the cables go under, loop down there, go through, and come out the back. So everything is very nicely controlled. The fan one too will end up going in there, where then they can plug in. So yeah, this is the project, and it's we wanna let this be known out there, and for y'all to see why I've been very absent recently and working on other projects. One of them is also the actually tech step, which I'm waiting on my final parts to arrive for me to continue working on them. So anyway, folks, this is it. This is the SE30 compact that we're calling it. You can design your own case if you want to, or get the one that we have actually designed here. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to print the cases myself, but then realize that it's a 3D printed case. It's going to have some flaws on things in it. It's not going to be 100% perfect. I may order the case from an actually 3D printing outlet. I use JLC PCB, and they've been printing cases from different items for me that have been very well. But do actually realize that these cases, if I get them to print them, the base cost is about $70 for each piece. So you're talking $140 or more for the full case for this. The board, again, it's got an RGB to HDMI on it. And then some other components. So realize that the cost of that is going to include the RGB to HDMI on it, and actually so forth. So I don't know what sort of ballpark figure this is going to land in yet, because even the Pico ATX power supply, that's an actually $25-$30 item. So if you can see, if you get a case that is printed, that's, let's say, $140. You got $30 for the Pico ATX. You've got the speakers and all that. So it's not going to be a under actually $100 item, or even under actually $200 item. So RGB to HDMI's, those sell anywhere from $40 to $65. And then you've got to add a blue SCSI, a floppy EMU. If you have all these items already and you want to add them, then yes, that's going to bring the price down, or you can buy them independently. I'll have to see how we are gonna provide this available if it's going to have the speakers and amp. I mean, I feel better to have the speaker and amp and all that already in it for you, and the fan, and some other things. So where you just basically provide maybe a Blue SCSI, a floppy EMU. If you do the floppy EMU yourself, there is some soldering you need to do to add the actually headers for the cables for the buttons, and then also yeah, that's the only soldering you have to do. But Blue SCSI fits in perfectly. There's nothing to do. Just actually screw it in, connect the cable for the external activity LED. So, but overall, as you can see here, it's a pretty clean, complete project for the SE30. I mean, there's the bottom piece with the card and the case and everything that's in it. So I think this is a very nice project, and hopefully we have it available soon, and we will try to do something very nice with this and make it available for people that may want to make a SE30 desktop. Presumably, I haven't tested it. I have not fitted it. SE board should fit in here also, because it is the identical board layout. So it should work for a SE also. I am gonna probably upgrade the amp. The amp here, this one is not that good of a quality, and the speakers are a bit not to my liking, but I found some other ones that are better quality and better amp, but they're the same dimension speakers, so they'll fit right in there. So, but overall, folks, that is the SE30 compact project, and I hope this has been beneficial for some of y'all, and that y'all see what is all available and what a little bit of creativity can do to change these things around and make it fun still for everyone. So anyway, folks, I'm gonna play this for 1 second.
Please hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications.
Very interesting. That there showed a SE30 on it. Now, after this one is done, I do have an idea for a very interesting case that I'm gonna make, and hopefully, I'll have that later on after this one goes and we see how it does. So, but overall, that's it, folks. Let me know what y'all think. Comments actually appreciate it. Again, this is not actually scripted. This is actually free talk here. Wanted to show y'all what we've been working on, what our major secret project has been, and where we stand at with it right now. And this is a pretty nice project. So anyway, folks, thank you so much, and y'all have a great day. Bye bye.